Okay. Welcome everybody to the RBV website interview after a game at Carlsbad in which we lost 4-0, and we are here today with Scout Jim Dixon with the Toronto Blue Jays, and we're buddies because we sit next to each other most of the time up behind home plate. So Jim, how did you get to be a scout?
Well, I've been involved in baseball for over 50 years, and actually the scout that signed my son asked me if I wanted to get involved in scouting because he knew I lived in the San Diego area, and there's a lot of athletes here that come out of San Diego that are involved in professional baseball, and he knew I had a lot of contacts here in San Diego. So he hooked me up with Dan Cox, who is area scout that handles Riverside County, San Diego County, San Bernardino County, and all of Hawaii, and I help him. He's my supervisor, and I work for him, under him, and I handle basically Riverside and San Diego County.
Well, I'm sure all the players now who are going to be watching this interview want to know what you as a professional scout look for, excluding pitchers, now just infielders, outfielders. What are the most important things?
Well, the first thing we look for, obviously, is athleticism and speed. Speed is something that can't be taught. So if you have speed, if you run a certain time, the magic number would be under 6'5" in the 60. If you can run that and you're an athlete, then a lot of teams will take you and try to develop you as a baseball player, even if you don't have a lot of other baseball skills. But basically the 5 tools: being able to run the right speed, have a good arm, field, hit, and hit with power. And I add the 6th tool in, which is the mental side. But that's something that we go into later after we talk to a young man that possibly has pro potential. Then we try to find out his mental side of the game, because that's where it's going to get to when you get to professional level, how well you handle the mental side of the game, because everyone has physical tools at the professional level. So it's how you handle the mental side. This game is 90% mental, 10% physical.
Now, pitchers, of course, are in a different category, and you've got the gun on all these various high school pitchers. What is it, again, that you're looking for specifically in high school pitchers?
Smooth mechanics, effortless mechanics. If you're struggling and you have big body motion, that's a negative for as a pitcher. You want to be smooth and in control of your body, and the ball jumps out of your hand. Velocity, most everyone's going to throw between 88 to 91, and then those rare pitchers are going to throw higher than that, 92 to 100. If you're in the 88 to 91 range, you need to have movement, and you need to have command of at least 2 to 3 other pitches, so that you can basically fool hitters, because all professional hitters can hit 88 to 91 in their sleep. It's what you do with those other pitches that makes them adjust and get them out.
Now, we have a number of players here who are going to be drafted and also have opportunities, scholarships to go to college. What do you recommend they do?
Yeah, on that's a personal issue. We give them every option, whether they want to go to college or not. A lot of times that's up to the family and up to the individual. If they don't have the grades to go to college, obviously that's not an option for them to go to college. So the kids that do have the grades to go to college and receive a college scholarship, they need to weigh all the factors of whether they're going to go to school or whether they can wait 3 years to be drafted or signed again when they're 21, because once they enter a 4-year institution, they cannot be drafted until they're 21. Some kids have to redshirt in college, so they may be drafted as a sophomore, but they're still going to be the age of 21. I would recommend that if a young man is a pitcher and he's going to be drafted in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I would sign, because you never know what arm injury you can have during your college career. And once your arm is injured, there's no guarantee that it's ever going to come back to normal, to where you can throw like you threw before the injury. If it's a position player, again, it depends on if the person's a student, if he likes school. If he's not in the first 3 rounds or 4 rounds, I would say go to college and try to up your stock and get your education, because you always need something to fall back on after baseball.
Now, here's something you and I have talked about a number of times, because most young players don't realize this. Once you sign, they think it's kind of like a jump into the major leagues, but there is life in the minor leagues. And your son, of course, is in the minor leagues as well. Just give us a brief sketch of what a typical baseball player's life is like as a professional in the minor leagues.
in the minor leagues, when you first sign your contract, you're not going to go straight to the major leagues. Even a 4-year college a student that signs after 4 years will probably end up in advanced rookie league, low A, or what we call short season A. Short season A goes only for 2.5 months. It starts right after the college season and after the draft, and they go for 2.5 months. After that, when you come to spring training the following year, you're going to be up at around 6:30 in the morning. You're going to go to the gym. You're going to do possibly some weight training early. Then you're going to go have hitting probably in the morning from 7:30 to 8:30. And you get on the field and do all your work on the field, defensive work, more hitting, more instruction. It's a long day. You're going to be on the field basically from about 7:30 in the morning till about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the evening, and that's every day, 7 days a week.
Well, Jim, thank you very much for all this information, and I suppose it's too late to persuade you to come out and take a look at my fastball after the game. I still have that dream, you know.
Well, there's all kinds of leagues to play in, so I know of senior leagues that I play in them that you can play in and still have fun with the game. I love the game. I've been involved in the game for over 50 years, and I still play on the weekends when I have time. So it's a game that I consider, I'm a baseball lifer, and when you run into someone that is a baseball lifer, you'll know, because all they do is eat, sleep, drink baseball, and that's all I do.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm sure we'll see you at the next game.
Thank you for interviewing me.